We have one speaker speak on one subject for a half hour. Then we have a second speaker speak on a completely unrelated subject for a half hour. And then we have question and answer of both at the same time.
My mother's point always was that the great thing about recessions, or not recessions, was about musicals, they always did better in recessions. My mother didn't like recessions. That's not, don't try and put those words back in my mouth.
You get out into the main body of the Amazon, and the whole thing is floating past you. There's these little floating islands of grasses. The cool thing is that these floating islands are how animals get around the world.
Anything Goes is a wonderful musical about these, beautiful girls who are picked up at sea by a steamer, and one of the sailors looks up and goes, "Gah, that gal really gives me hot pants," and which, of course, was their way of saying that she really turned you on. It was an expression of sexual discomfort.
One of the great unresolved mysteries of the world is, where did the South American monkeys come from? And right now, the best theory is that they floated across the Atlantic on a pile of weeds.
And so I turned, and in my high-pitched, way too loud, no stage whisper, but a loud voice, said, "Hey, Mom, what's hot pants mean?" And like 60 heads in the audience turned towards me, and my mother said she would tell me later, which she never did,
Can you both speak to the distinction between opera and musicals? Why don't we just get rid of that distinction altogether?
I wouldn't disagree. I mean, I think there is a formality of opera, and they just stand out there and they don't move for like 11 minutes. They say their dialogue, they sing their song, they do more dialogue, and they're like rooted like an aquatic plant. Right?
In the Amazon, the Amazonian river guy that I go with is a complete fan of the opera, because in 1908 they built this amazing opera house in Manaus. And on this riverboat, we wake up every morning to opera. And so there, for me, is a very profound connection between opera and aquatic plants, it turns out. And I've yet to hear a show tune on the Amazon, so I don't know.